Hello and welcome back to RBY Pokemon Challenges. I am your host, Teo, and we are continuing part 2 of our Minimum Battles series. We're playing Pokemon Yellow with all 151 Pokemon to see which ones can beat the game on Minimum Battles. And we've gotten 75 Pokemon that were able to beat Brock that are now getting their shot at Misty. We're taking 5 Pokemon per episode, so if there's a Pokemon that you really want to see, go ahead and comment down below. Let us know. We're always happy to take your guys' requests to make the content that you guys are really going to want to see. Now, last week we took a little step back. We did some retries of Brock with some Pokemon that seemed like they were getting really close to getting through, but they just couldn't quite get there. A lot of these Pokemon had troubles like they were getting knocked out when Brock had really low HP on his Onix left. Or they have a strategy that after playing through with a lot of other Pokemon, we were able to get through. In the end, 3 of these Pokemon were able to get through. That was Vulpix, Golbat, and Nidoking. Nidoking was always just struggling with the fact that it kept having confusion after using Thrash and knocking itself out, basically, by using, or by hitting itself in confusion. We ended up actually relying mostly on Horn Attack in that battle, and that actually made it a lot more consistent. After we made the change from using Thrash to Horn Attack, it actually only took about 10 attempts to get it through, so not the most consistent fight, but definitely doable. Golbat was taking advantage of the fact that if it could set up its Screeches and get through Geodude, and then set up Screeches on Onix, it could actually use Leech Life, of all things, to heal up off of the Onix and get through pretty consistently. And finally, Vulpix was using Burns to lower the damage output of the opponents to enable to get through. A lot of these other Pokemon actually end up losing all of their PP in their attacking moves before they can get through the Onix, and they have to struggle the Onix down. I did a few runs with that where I was using save states and waiting for perfect luck, and even then it was very clear that the rest of these Pokemon, even though they can get really close on some runs, they just don't quite get there. And because of that, Golem, Dratini, Zapdos, and Aerodactyl are out of the running. Now, if you haven't seen all of our episodes so far, make sure that you subscribe, ring the bell icon. This channel's finally getting a little bit of traction with subscribers, and it's really motivating to me to see the new subscribers coming in. I really want to hear what our subscribers want to see in our videos. Do you have a suggestion? Do you have an element that you'd like to see? Do you have a particular Pokemon that you hope will get through the whole game and you want it in the next episode? Or a Pokemon that you absolutely hate and you want to see it lose against Misty next week? Put those in the comments so that we can give you guys the content that you want. You're the subscribers. You're the people that we want to make this content for. So please tell us anything that you would like to see, and we'll do our best to work it into the videos. If you're not already subscribed, get subscribed. We come out with new videos about once a day in our Who Wins series, where we just show one Pokemon against a gym leader if you want something small and bite-sized. Or every Monday, we come out with a long-form video where we take several Pokemon against a gym leader to see which ones can win on minimum battles. So, thank you for that, and let's just recap last week. Well, before we get to that, just to follow up on our rules for this challenge, we use no items in battle. We don't do extra battles, and we don't use any other Pokemon in battle. These are all in order to make the game more difficult. If we could swap in a Magikarp when we take Sand Attack, for example, that's what J-Rose did in his original Minimum Battles series, Yeah, we can reduce the effect that status has on us, but we're making the game significantly easier on ourselves. So that's not really a good reflection of whether or not this Pokemon on its own solo can beat the game on minimum battles. So we're not going to do that. Now, we can get some TMs in this section going up to Misty. We can get TM1 and TM12 in Mount Moon. So we've got Mega Punch, we've got Water Gun. We can get TM45 and TM28 by going north to Bill's house and then continuing down to Vermilion City. So any Pokemon that could benefit from Thunder Wave to paralyze Misty's Pokemon has an opportunity there. And we're going to see it today. Dig. It's a 100 base power ground type move. So it enables us, as long as we have good enough speed and attack, to deal a significant amount of damage to Misty. And that's a move that we're going to use, absolutely, in order to get through her Pokemon with some of our challengers. Finally, we can get HM1 cuts by going down and going through Rival 3 in the SS Anne. We can go, that's as far as we can go without beating Misty. So that's kind of a last ditch effort. And then finally, we can get 2 rare candies. So if everything doesn't work, we might use rare candies at this point in order to make the run possible. Of course, if we use rare candies now, we're giving up those rare candies later down the line. So even if a Pokemon's able to get through Misty after using rare candies, it's going to have a significant disadvantage for the rest of the game. So keep that in mind. It's not like we're just, rare candies, and now the rest of the game's easy. No, we've put ourselves at a huge disadvantage by doing that, because we can't use those rare candies at the Elite Four at a later gym where each level is a lot more experienced. So that's really a last attempt, a last Hail Mary to try to get through. Now, some things that we can't get. We cannot get the Body Slam TM8 in the SS Anne. That TM requires us to battle one optional trainer. And just because it requires one optional trainer, it's off the board. We can't get that. That would go against the whole minimum battles philosophy. The same is true for TM19 Seismic Toss. We will battle the trainer that blocks Seismic Toss, but in order to lure him out far enough to get in behind him and get to the TM, we would have to battle another trainer, the Hiker, and that would cause us to go over minimum battles. Finally, Rest, TM44. It's very useful. You always see it in a lot of solo playthroughs because it enables us to heal mid-battle. But again, it's locked behind an optional trainer in the SS Anne, and we cannot add additional battles to get through. So because of that, we are in a position where we have to really think about our Pokemon's moves and how to get them through. So up till now, we've played through Misty with 10 Pokemon of the about 75 that have gotten through Brock. And all of these 10 Pokemon have actually gotten through, but we still have a lot of potential challengers. So if you see one that you really like to see next week, put it in the comments below, and we will definitely look into using that Pokemon. Now, last week, our challengers were Mr. Mime, the Ghastly Haunter Gengar line, and Hypno, and they join our episode 1 team of all 5 Pokemon being able to get through Misty. Misty was not difficult for these Pokemon at all. We were able to do about 5 runs in about 30 minutes. Really, it was a piece of cake. But this week, we have 5 new challengers, and we're trying to add some actual challenge into this week. So we have Ponyta, Krabby, and then our 3 Pokemon that got through on retries, Nidoking, Vulpix, and Golbat. Why did I choose these Pokemon? Well, Ponyta was requested by a subscriber. Thank you very much. And then Nidoking, Vulpix, and Golbat all got through Brock on retries. But if we're going to take all that time to retry these Pokemon, they better be able to get pretty far in the game. Otherwise, we just wasted a lot of our time. So let's find out if we did. And finally, Krabby. When I was looking at Pokemon that I thought might struggle against Misty, Krabby really sticks out. It's a pre-evolution, it doesn't have great HP, it just in general doesn't have great stats. It's not going to be able to learn any TMs at this point other than Bide. And so its real saving grace is going to be when it gets Vice Grip. Vice Grip is 100% accurate, normal type move. It learns it at level 20. And we're going to have to see if Vice Grip might be what it needs in order to get through. We can see that we're going to have some challenges today, so let's jump in and look at our very first Pokemon, which is Ponyta. Now, Ponyta is very interesting because this is supposed to be a late game Pokemon. So, normally, we shouldn't be able to get a Ponyta this early in the game, and it doesn't learn any moves until, what is that, level 30. It learns Tail Whip at level 30. Oh, sorry, I started a new game. We need to reload that. And otherwise, our Ponyta only knows Ember. And I really want to thank our subscriber for recommending this because the fact that it only learns Ember and Ponyta doesn't really get any other moves except Bide at this point in the game. It can't learn Dig, it can't learn Cut, can't learn Mega Punch, so we're going to have to figure out if we can beat Misty basically using Ember and Bide. This could be the first Pokemon that has to use all of the rare candies, and even then, it could be tough to get through Misty, because if her Starmie just decides to use Bubble Beam against us a bunch of times, we're probably going to lose no matter what level we're at. So, this one I think is going to be incredibly interesting. So we're just going to go ahead and make our way through Mount Moon as quickly as possible. Most of the trainers that we have to fight are in the route that we just completed. What is that? Route 4? Route 5? Or I guess that's Route 3, isn't it? Because Route 1 is from Pallet Town, Route 2 is to Viridian City, so that must be Route 3. But really, I mean, we don't have much point in running around in here trying to pick up a lot of items. We basically just pick up the escape rope and the rare candy. Rare candy because we're going to want it later on, definitely. But we're going to save it until as late as possible. But really, if Ponyta can get through Misty, then that kind of lends itself to the idea that I spoke about before of, what if every Pokemon can just get through Misty? Ooh, and that was bad. We got taken out by the Super Nerd because he disabled our Ember. But yeah, Misty's a Pokemon or a trainer that if Ponyta can get through her, then Ponyta's gonna do some damage in this because Erica's not gonna be too difficult. Our next real challenge actually will be the hiker in Rock Tunnel with our Ponyta. Here we should definitely save, and okay, we get through Ekans just fine. Okay, and we are through Team Rocket, and that gets us through this part of the game. And we get our Great Ball, just so that we always get the Great Ball, so that when we get back to this point, we will be able to, or not when we get back to the point, when we get to the point where we need a flying Pokemon, we'll be able to catch one That's just to have a Pokemon that can use Fly for us. Now, let's go ahead and start off by fighting the junior trainer in Misty's gym. Let's just see if we're able to get through even a Goldeen. Okay, so we got through Goldeen, and that was not a big problem. But Goldeen doesn't use water-type moves, and we've already seen that with other fire types, where, you know, the junior trainer's not that hard, really. But now, against Misty, will we even be able to beat Staryu? No chance. So, because of that, we can see that we definitely need to grind up more levels in order to have any chance. Now, this isn't just grinding randomly. We're fighting Pokemon that we would have to fight. Fighting trainers that would be required to get through the rest of the game. Starting with Rival 2. So, let's go ahead and try to take him out. Please don't attack us. Okay, cool. And we got through. Right there. Here, we're just going to take out a couple bugs really quickly, and then we'll go heal up. So, yes, we're going to go down probably all the way to the SSN and fight Rival 3 in the end, which is fine. We just need to get experience within the framework of minimum battles, within the trainers that we would have to beat the game. So all of these Nugget Bridge trainers, we have to fight at some point. Same with Rival 2. We have to fight Rival 2 at some point. So we're not giving ourselves any sort of advantage here by going through these fights. We're just, you know, getting necessary battles out of the way. But once we fight Rival 3 on the SSN, that's really all that we can do before Misty. That's the last trainer that we can legitimately reach and battle before Misty on minimum battles. So now here we're going to get a Charmander. Charmander is going to be our cut user, even though that's not going to come into play in this episode, but we're going to need that Pokemon. Onix, we can see, is just a piece of cake there. And now we get this Lass, who has 2 Nidorans. Fairly easy fight. Another junior trainer. We can see our levels are going up pretty well. We're getting up to level 20 here. And now let's fight this Lass with her Oddish, where for this Pokemon, Oddish is not going to be a problem, obviously, as long as we don't miss. And we didn't miss, okay. So, we're up to Bill, and Ponyta is going to be able to get through this part of the game, no problem. As we can see, it's basically, we had to go heal up in the Pokemon Center a couple times, but nothing too crazy there. So, our Ponyta has leveled up to level 20. Let's see if that gives us any sort of shot here. So, let's just start by seeing... Okay, so we are now able to take multiple hits from the Staryu, which means that we could reliably get through that fight. We would be able to use something like Bide to get through that fight. So, let's see if we level up just a little bit more. We may end up using Bide as our strategy there. We level up to level 21, that's good. And now, let's go down and fight Rival 3 first. And the reason I want to fight Rival 3 is because that's going to give us the opportunity to... And we're going to teach our Ponyta Bide, just so that it has it. That's going to get us as many levels as possible at this point in the game. And hopefully that will be enough to get through, using probably Bide. Okay, so here we're just taking out some Pidgeys, which is perfectly fine. And Raticates, okay. So, there we go, we're level 22, we've gotten through everything up to this point. We're just going down to the SSN, where we are going to get another Great Ball. We need Great Balls to catch our flying Pokemon later. So here, let's go ahead and fight our rival, and we can start off just by using Ember on these Pokemon, and here Eevee's a little more bulky, but Embers and we get right through. So fighting rival 3 is no problem. We get our HM for Cut, which we will use for our Charmander in the next episode in order to get through. But there we go. So with that, we have gotten all of the experience that we're going to be able to get through trainer battles prior to Misty. So we're just going to go into Diglett Cave in order to let ourselves dig out to go back to Cerulean City. And now it's really, can we beat Misty? Let's go ahead and take a few attempts and see how it goes. So first, I'm going to use Bide. And we can take out, as we can see, we can easily take out the Staryu there. Now, we got a 3-turn Bide, and it looks like taking 2 water guns from Starmie was enough to take us out. Now, I'm just checking if Ember is a more effective strategy, but that does not appear to be the case. So, we're going to use Bide. Okay, we take 2 water guns and we take out Staryu, but then we get knocked out. So we really need a 2-turn Bide there, not a 3-turn Bide. So if we had just gotten like a 2-turn Bide, we might have been able to take that one out. Okay, so there's a 2-turn Bide. Okay. Ooh, that came so close to taking out Starmie. Okay, so clearly we need a 2-turn Bide. Oh, if we could have just gotten a 2-turn Bide on Starmie, we would have taken it out. I guarantee we would have taken it out. Okay, this is a pretty good run because Staryu only hit us once. And we were able to take out Starmie with Bide. So there we have it. Ponyta, it's not going to be pretty. We're going to end up having to use Bide and hoping for the right kind of Bide luck. But basically, we get a 2-turn Bide where Staryu hits us with Water Gun once and then uses an X-Defend because Misty's AI is terrible. We're able to take it out by just dealing the damage back. Then against Starmie, we took Water Gun. It did enough damage, and we were able to take that out as well, basically with Misty just using bad moves. So, Ponyta is our first Pokemon today that is through Misty. And its next real challenge is going to be the self-destruct hiker in Rock Tunnel. He has 2 Geodudes and a Graveler that all use self-destruct, and that might be the thing that takes out our Ponyta, but for now, Ponyta is a winner in today's challenge. So let's get to our next Pokemon, which is Krabby. Now, Krabby, as I already said, it has some different challenges. Now, it is going to get the Water Gun TM in Mount Moon. That's really its advantage. It knows Bubble and Leer. But most likely what we actually need is to get this Krabby to level up to level 20 so that we can get Vice Grip. So most likely we're going to have to go north to Bill's house, and that may enable us to get enough experience that we can then use Vice Grip and have a better chance against Misty. Because Vice Grip is a strong move that, in theory, should enable us to get through. Okay, that did not work out. This youngster is proving to be a bit of a challenge. So let's make sure that we get full HP then. Okay, we were able to finally get through the youngster. As we can see, I mean, Krabby just doesn't have great stats and takes a lot of damage from these Pokemon, so... Oh no! We ran out of bubbles and I just saved, so... We're gonna have to reset the ROM already. Because, yeah, that won't work. Yeah, Bubble doesn't have enough PP to get through. So, we can think about using Bite here, because we're not going to learn that many moves, are we? So, it's debatable. Bite might be useful later in the game, so until we are actually sure that we need it, we're just going to leave it off. Here getting through is no problem because bugs are very weak, but let's take advantage of our potions to heal up between these fights. Okay. Oops, we got taken out. This is really going to be the struggle of Krabby, is some of these trainers before Misty are going to be incredibly hard because it doesn't have great defense and it doesn't have great HP. You know, we're under-leveled relative to this point in the game. There we were poisoned. So we just have to hope that we can get through these Pokemon with... Like, we've already seen this youngster's doable. We just have to get, you know, not hit every turn. Okay, and we're running out of bubbles, so we actually do have to go back to the Pokemon Center and heal up. Bubble's just not a very strong move, and it doesn't do a ton of damage, so we end up using a lot of bubbles to get through fairly weak Pokemon. So let's see if we can get through here. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and use a potion. And let's go ahead and fight this bug catcher, which shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, and we've basically made it to Mount Moon at this point, so our next big challenge is going to be all of the Pokemon in Mount Moon that know poison-type attacks. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to get our TM12 for Water Gun. And that's going to be our new go-to attacking move, because it's so much better than using Bubble. Plus Stab. I mean, Stab is going to be the name of the game here. So we just have to get on through. We always have to quick save right there. We do not want to fight that Team Rocket Grunt. Okay, and we're about to get to our next challenger, the Super Nerd. Let's save and let's fight him. So, Water Gun. Voltorb doesn't resist it, so we're fine there. And now we just have to get on through. So, cool. Let's go fight Team Rocket now. We are able to use Water Gun on all these Pokemon. And we get taken out by Coughing. So, okay. We're through to Coughing with a lot more HP this time, which is good. And we level up. Okay. So, we've got our Great Ball. We're moving on to Cerulean City. And as usual, let's take our attempt at the junior trainer here, just to see if she is possible or not. So, the only move that we can really use is Water Gun. Okay, we got fairly close to getting through. Like, if we don't hit ourselves in confusion a bunch of times, we probably get through just fine. Okay, so we were actually able to beat that junior trainer, but I think it's pretty clear that we're not going to have much of a chance against Misty at all, so we are not going to attempt her just yet. Let's get our second rare candy, and let's go fight our rival here. Now, Sandshrew shouldn't be too difficult, so now it's just a matter of not taking too much damage from Eevee and hitting, because Sand Attack. But we get through, no problem. So, let's continue on up through this route, and we can, of course, get through this bug catcher with no problem. Okay. Youngster. Okay, so those are fine. We're running out of water guns, so gotta be careful of that, careful of our PP. So we're gonna go ahead and go down to heal up, just to replenish our HP and PP, and then let's go finish up, hopefully, Nugget Bridge on this one. Okay, through the Mankey, no problem. Let's try to get through this trainer as well. Okay. And we're at level 19 now, so... And we've got our Charmander to back us up now, but... I believe it should be one more level, and we're gonna get access to Vice Grip, which will be our hopefully new ace move to use in battle. Okay, and there's Vice Grip added to our inventory, and as we can see, Vice Grip's really strong. We just took that Ekans out in one hit with Vice Grip. So let's see if it will let us get through the Oddishes here. Okay. Looks like 2 Vice Grips to get through them, but we were able to get through the Oddish without too much trouble. So that looks pretty good for us, because if we're able to use Vice Grip on Misty, we may be able to get through right now. We may not even need to go down to the SSN yet. And then Krabby, I mean, he's going to be able to get through to Celadon, because the Rock Tunnel Hiker is not going to be a wall. We have water-type moves, so that's going to be perfectly fine for us. So let's try Misty right now. We're at level 20, but let's see if Vice Grip gives us what we need to get through. Okay. Now Misty's going to spam Harden and Tackle because she has good AI and she thinks that Tackle is more effective against us than Bubble Beam. If she just used Bubble Beam, she'd probably take us out a lot easier. But as we can see, Krabby, it's just get Vice Grip. We get to level 20 and suddenly we're able to get through the Oddish. On the way to Bill's house, we're able to get through Misty. We didn't even have to waste our time going south. So that is another Pokemon that has beaten Misty. And really, if these Pokemon can beat Misty, what Pokemon are going to struggle against her? Misty is turning out to really not be that tough of an opponent against Minimum Battles Pokemon, but maybe that will change. Let's see if our Nidoking, which we struggled so much with to get through Brock, is going to be able to do this now. Nidoking is going to be able to get Mega Punch. It will not learn Dig. So we have to be careful of that. Like, it won't learn Dig, but it will learn Mega Punch. It can learn Water Gun. So that is a little bit of an advantage here. Right now, we're learning Double Kick, which will be useful against some Pokemon. But really, I mean, like here against Rattata, we're just going to use Double Kick, because why wouldn't we? Here, Rattata, let's Double Kick. Let's Thrash against the Nidoran. But Nidoking's real advantage in the long term of this game is that it has just an incredible moveset. As you can see from the TMs over on the right, it learns so many moves by TM that late in the game, it's going to have access to something for everyone. When we fight Koga, we're going to be able to use moves like Rock Slide against his much weaker Pokemon. We're going to keep Thrash. We're going to get rid of Horn Attack right now. We're just keeping as many moves as we can for type coverage to start. And we can learn Mega Punch. So if Thrash is really not working for us, we could just come back and learn Mega Punch and probably be fine. Like, I don't envision a situation where we're going to struggle against Misty because we didn't have Horn Attack. So, and I'd rather keep Thrash for the poison types that are coming up. So, Let's fight this super nerd here. And we're just going to use Thrash to start off with. Like, these poison types, they really can't do a lot to us, right? Because they either have normal type moves or poison type moves, and the poison type moves are all resisted, like double resisted by Nidoking, so he doesn't really need to worry about any of that. We can see 3 Thrashes and he just takes Team Rocket out. So Nidoking is really a super strong Pokemon. Maybe not competitively because of the fact that Earthquake, Blizzard, Surf, and Psychic are all over the competitive metagame, but when we're talking about a single Pokemon playthrough, Nidoking is about as strong as they come. So again, here we're just using Thrash to get through the Goldeen, and before we even go north to Bill's house to try that, let's just see how we stack up against Misty here. Now we can probably even start off with Double Kick here, and then Poison Sting. Against Starmie, we absolutely have to use Thrash, and it took us out, okay. But we were able to get through Staryu without any real issue, so that's pretty good. That means that probably with just a couple more levels, we're going to be able to make this work. Okay. And we get through the rival without too much issue there. So let's just Poison Sting on that. Let's Thrash on that. Perfect. We're up to level 20 now. And the whole point is just that, look at Nidoking, like, it's taking out so many Pokemon in like 1 hit or 2 hits, because it's just such a powerful Pokemon. We're already up to level 21 here. The leader of the Team Rocket Nugget Bridge group is down easily. Oops, we almost went up and fought somebody we didn't want to fight. Water gun. Okay. I think a couple Thrashes get us through that fight. Yep. Double Kick, followed by a Thrash, gets us through that fight. Thrash, Thrash, Thrash. And we're through the last. I mean, Nidoking is so overpowered at this point in the game that, like, a lot of these Pokemon are turning into one-hits. Because we level up quickly. We're part of the medium slow level up group, but that means we actually gain levels very fast at this point in the game. And he just has awesome stats. So if he can get through Brock, a lot of the rest of the game is pretty easy. So we've leveled up. We're now at level 23. Let's see if we can beat Misty with a level 23 Nidoking. Okay, and there we go. We get through Misty. We don't even have to go down to the SSN. We don't have to try to get anything else. Just Thrash, and we're able to get through Misty with no problems. So there you have it. That is another Pokemon through Misty. So Vulpix is up next, and Vulpix hopefully will be a little bit more of a challenge, but we have at least some idea of how to get through, because we've already played with Arcanine through Misty, so we know that Vulpix is not going to be using Ember on Misty, we're going to be using Dig. So our route is already pretty well known that we're going to go north to Bill's house. We're going to get our Dig TM from the Rocket Grunt, and then that will be the first spot that we're actually going to attempt to Misty. Because with Dig in our arsenal, we have a 100 base power ground type move, and that's really going to be all we should need to beat her. We'll find out. Maybe with lower stats we'll have to go down to the SSN, but if Ponyta was already able to beat Misty without Dig, just using Bide, I feel like this is gonna be a fine run without needing to resort to that kind of strategy. But who knows? Maybe Dig doesn't do enough damage, and we do end up having to use Bide instead, and then hopefully we can tank the damage. So we're just going to continue on down through this section of the game. Okay, and get past that Rocket Grunt. Very good. And let's see if we can get through the Super Nerd right here. So we've saved right now just before the Super Nerd fight so that we can reset if we need to. But that was not too bad. Let's go ahead and use a potion to heal up before Team Rocket. And now it's just, can we do enough damage? Okay, we got taken out there. Okay, we got through that just fine. Okay, and there we go. We are through Team Rocket. Now, we're part of the medium slow level up group here, so we don't get as many levels. We get through Mount Moon at level 15 with these Pokemon. But it may not end up mattering all that much. So let's go ahead and get ourselves healed up and go fight our rival here. So just need to use Ember a bunch of times against these Pokemon. And now we have learned Quick Attack, so we do have one more attack in our arsenal to use. So if we have a fight where it looks like we just need to do a little damage in order to take the opponent out, that will now be our go-to move. But let's get through Nugget Bridge, because we have our game plan. Get Dig, and then fight Misty. It's going to be much more efficient than going down and trying to fight her now and losing a few times and wasting a bunch of time. So here we're through all of those Pokemon. Burn to the Pidgey, that's always nice. Okay, here let's save just before the Mankey, just in case. Okay, that didn't cause us any trouble. And finally the Rocket Grunts, and Zubat's nothing to be scared of. So there we are through Nugget Bridge, and we have our Charmander. So we will continue through here, but let's go ahead and heal up first. Perfect. Let's fight this hiker here. Now, it's much different story against an Onix when we actually have a higher level than the Onix. Unlike Brock's Onix, where we were, struggling because we're lower level and using a non-effective move. you get to the Onyx a couple levels higher using a special type move, and even though it says not very effective, you get through very easily. Okay, cool. We are going to get to Bill's house here very quickly. We're up to level 20 now. So, some good stuff. And let's get Bill separated into teleporter, and then go down and fight that Rocket Grunt and get our Dig TM. See if that gets us through here. So, there we go. Here we just have to get decent luck, of course, against the Rocket Grunts. You don't want to get put to sleep for 5 turns or something like that. It doesn't happen. So, there we go. And we've got Dig. So, Vulpix is going to learn Dig. And we are going to heal up. And now let's finally take our attempts at Misty's gym. Start with the the junior trainer female, and let's dig. Okay, 2 digs takes out. We do not want to learn Roar, because Roar is a useless move in this generation, so we skip Roar, we save, and now we go to Misty, where we are going to start by digging, and then... Okay, that was not good that she used an X defense while we were underground. Okay, that one just didn't quite work out, but let's try just a couple more here. Oh, if we had gone through for a 3rd dig there, we would have gotten through. Okay, that's a critical hit, which is always good. Okay. Okay, so it's not quite working out for us against Misty, so let's go down to fight Rival 3. It's going to get us 1 or maybe 2 extra levels, but it might be what we need to consistently knock out the Staryu in 1 turn, and then to be able to get through Misty, Starmie, with enough HP that we can get through. So, we'll go ahead and start by taking out these trainers. And very good. Very good. Got a level right there, so that's nice. And now we have to go down and fight Rival 3 and get cut, so let's try that. Now we're just going to heal up with a potion so that we can dig back to Cerulean City. So here we go. Start with Ember. Dig. I think dig is the way to go here. And dig. Dig. There we go. We are through Rival 3. We get the cut HM. We leveled up once, but that's fine. We'll take that. And then, yeah, we just have to go ahead and dig back to Cerulean City. So let's go into a cave here, and there we go. So we're back to Cerulean. Now, what do we have? We have, of course, Bide. We have 2 rare candies. So if it's really not working out, we can try those strategies instead. But let's start off just by trying to take out Staryu, and ultimately it turns out that it's not 1 hit. Okay, let's see a little bit here, because Tail Whip exists, and that will enable us to 1 Tail Whip plus Dig is enough to get through. Oops. Let's try this a couple more times, because okay, that got us through with full health. Got pretty close there. Okay. And there we get through. So we didn't even have to resort to bite or anything. It's just about getting the right kind of luck and the right kind of ranges. And we're through. So Vulpix, another Pokemon that beat Brock on our retries, and it's able to get through Misty without too many attempts, too much difficulty. Yeah, we did have to get as many levels as possible before Misty, but I mean, think about it. The next challenge that it's really going to have, the next gym leader that's actually going to have an advantage on us, is going to be when we get to Blaine. And we have Dig, and his Pokemon don't have Dig, so we're going to already have an advantage there with a super effective 100 base power attacking move to use against him. So Vulpix is probably going to do just fine. So that brings us to our last Pokemon of today, which is going to be Golbat. I really wanted to use Golbat last week because it was kind of our Halloween run, and Golbat would have made perfect sense as a Pokemon for that run. As we can see, it finally did get through. It used a bunch of Leech Lives and Screeches, basically, to get through Brock. But, yeah, I mean, Golbat is... It had a sprite that was one of the just freakiest looking sprites in Generation 1. When I think of Pokemon that I really thought just looked ridiculous, Golbat is at the top of the list. Oh, and we learned Supersonic. Nice. So, Golbat's strategy is very likely going to be to use Confusion on opponents, even though Supersonic is not very accurate, as we can see right here as I'm trying to use it over and over again on this Ekans. But we can heal up off of the Ekans using Leech Life, because for some reason Bug is super effective against Poison in this version of the game, so we'll just go ahead and heal up a little bit off of them. So Golbat's not going to struggle against any of these poison types because of the fact that it can just use Leech Life to heal from them. So we basically just can heal up all of our damage off of opponents by using Leech Life, and because it's super effective, it will get us through. Now, it's also going to be super effective against Starmie, because Starmie is a poison type, and Bug is super effective against poison, so this might be a fairly easy run, to be honest. Lieutenant Surge would be our next challenge, but we don't have to fight Lieutenant Surge. We can just go through Rock Tunnel. And when we go through Rock Tunnel, of course, the hiker with the exploding Geodudes is going to be a problem, but in that case, our solution is likely at that point going to be Confusion, or we might have Confuse Ray by that point. And if we do, that will be the strategy, to try to get Confusion and Screech luck such that he takes himself out. Yeah, anyway, so we're going to start off by just using Leech Life against Grimer. Oh, it disabled our Leech Life, so we can't do that. But now we're just going to use Bite over and over again, and easy game. And here against Team Rocket, again, Leech Life is clearly the way to go. Against Meowth, Bite. And then, yeah, let's just use Leech Life to heal up off of Coughing. And it's very nice to have Poison-type Pokemon at this point in the game, because for some reason, so many Pokemon in the early game are Poison types that we have to fight, and Poison type moves really aren't that strong in this generation. I would argue that Poison was probably the worst typing of Generation 1, because it really just gets wrecked by everything. But anyway, so we're going to start off by just using some Screeches there, and then go ahead and take out the Goldeen. And let's try our hand against Staryu here. So now that we've gotten Staryu's stats down. Okay, so that didn't work out, but let's try another run here. So Screech, 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 Leech Life, Leech Life. Okay, Screech, Screech, Screech. Oops, we got taken out. We probably want to get Confusion off first. Oops, that was a bad run. So let's get her confused. Let's use Screech. Now let's Leech Life. Okay. And there we go. Like, we don't even need to waste time going up to Bill's house with Golbat. It's just about getting the right Confusion luck and taking her out with Leech Life, basically. Bite doesn't really do us as much good because of the fact that we hit second. We don't get the chance to flinch when we're hitting after our opponent. So, yeah, just Supersonic, Screech, and Leech Life was the way to go there. And there we have it. We have 5 more Pokemon against Misty, and 5 more Pokemon we're able to get through without really too much difficulty. Misty is shaping up to probably be the easiest gym leader in Pokemon Yellow, to be perfectly honest with you. Because I can't see which Pokemon are actually going to struggle against her going forward. Like, if we look at the Pokemon that we played with today. So, Golbat, we can get rid of off this list because it's already been done. Nidoking, Vulpix have been done. We took the run with Krabby, and we took the run with Ponyta. We still have a ton of challengers here. But really, comment down below, which ones do you think are actually going to struggle? I mean, maybe Horsey could struggle with this. I said before, Scott's Thoughts had the versus run where he was doing Kabuto versus Ammonite, and he really struggled here with Ammonite. So I think I have a better strategy for getting through than he did. That one might be a challenge, though. And then, outside of that, what Pokemon are going to struggle? I mean, when we talk about water types, the Squirtle line are all going to be able to learn Mega Punch. And they're going to be able to learn Dig, so that's not an issue. Tentacruel is going to have Wrap, and that may be its strategy, is just to Wrap against Misty. The Poliwag line have access to Hypnosis. They can use Sleep Tactics to try to get through. Slowbro and Slowpoke have Confusion. That's going to be resisted by Misty's Starmie, but then they, I believe, will also get Thunder Wave, so they'll be able to paralyze Misty and perhaps use Paralysis to get through. A Pokemon like Horsey makes some sense. Again, it's got weaker stats. It may not have anything like Vice Grip to rely on against Misty. Let me just search Horsey's Gen 1 moveset here one more time. So, in Generation 1, Horsey will learn Smokescreen at level 19 and Leer at level 26, it looks like. So, the advantage that Horsey might end up having is being able to use Smokescreen to lower the accuracy of the opponent, make it more likely that they miss, and then it may end up using a Bide type of strategy in order to get through, because it can learn Bide, and it's definitely going to get Smokescreen at level 19, plus it's going to get Water Gun. That may be its strategy to get through. That's a Pokemon that I'm really thinking to put on next week's video, but which ones do you want to see? As usual, comment. Tell us down below what Pokemon you want to see. We will take your requests and put them into the video. I hope you enjoyed today's content. It was a lot of fun for me to make. It's always fun to see how many people actually watch the videos and enjoy the comments or enjoy the content. So if you like it, give us a comment, leave a like, subscribe. It really means a lot to me. It really motivates me to keep making these videos. So with that, I'll bid you farewell. I will kick you off with a little bit of my music. Have a good day, everyone. See you.
Well, it's your black market lovely. She checked her halo at the barroom door. As the night bleeds, masquerades, ya no puedo resistir to amor. I know the evil games that you're playing. The way your eyes flow just like a flame. It'd be a sin just to know your name. Whoa, don't make me beg for your love, babe. Whoa, you've got my heart on a chain. With your black eyes on the red moonlight, let's shoot some stars in this neon night. Now it's a black market love, babe.